Most men spend their entire lives throwing spears from the safety of the tall grass. They throw a little effort at a business, a little effort at the gym, and a little effort at their dreams. But they always do it from a distance. They stay far enough away that if they fail, they don't have to feel the sting of the blow or the shame of the defeat. This is the coward's distance, a psychological buffer that keeps you comfortable while your potential rots in the sun. As long as you keep your problems at arm's length, hoping for a lucky strike, you will never truly conquer anything. 200 years ago, Shaka Zulu looked at his warriors and saw this same hesitation. He realized that the traditional long-throwing spear was a weapon of fear. It allowed a man to engage without truly committing. So he did something radical. He snapped the long shafts in half and forged the Iklwa, a short, heavy stabbing spear. He didn't just give his men a new tool, he took away their ability to stay safe. By shortening the blade, he forced them to close the gap, to get so close to their opposition that they could feel their breath and hear their heartbeat. He transformed a scattered tribe into an unstoppable empire by removing the option to hide. Welcome back to Hypothetics, where we take the brutal wisdom of history's greatest warriors and forge it into steel for your modern life. Today, we aren't just talking about ancient warfare, we are talking about the war you are currently losing against your own hesitation. We are going to break down why your long-distance efforts are keeping you weak and how adopting the Iklwa mindset will force you to finally confront the internal rot that's holding you back. If you are ready to stop throwing and start striking, it's time to learn how to close the gap. Quote 1. Victory is for those who are willing to look their enemy in the eye. Shaka Zulu. The modern world is built on distance. We send emails instead of having hard conversations. We watch tutorials instead of doing the work. This is the Iklwa mindset, throwing your effort from a safe distance so you don't have to feel the sting of failure. Shaka Zulu realized that real power only comes when you close the gap. You must get so close to your goals that there is no room for hesitation. If you aren't uncomfortable, you aren't close enough to win. Quote 2. Never leave an enemy behind you, or they will grow to stab you in the back. Zulu maxim. Your enemies aren't people. They are your half-finished projects and your "I'll do it tomorrow" excuses. When you leave a task partially done, you are leaving a wounded enemy at your rear. It will haunt your mind and drain your energy. The Iklwa mindset demands total completion. Don't just wound your distractions, finish them. Execute the task so completely that it never dares to rise again. Quote 3. A warrior's greatest weapon is a hardened soul. Shaka Zulu on Barefoot Training. Shaka forced his warriors to throw away their sandals and dance on thorns until their feet were like iron. In the digital age, your sandals are your comforts, your AC, your delivery apps, your endless scrolling. You've become soft because you've protected yourself from every sharp edge. To reclaim your edge, you must embrace the friction. Do the hard thing specifically because it is hard. Hardened feet can run where the soft-hearted fear to tread. Quote 4. The sky is the limit, but the earth is where the battle is won. African proverb. It's easy to dream big while sitting on your couch, but your dreams are long spears, airy and distant. The battle for your life is happening right now, on the ground. in the boring details of your daily discipline. Stop looking at the horizon and start looking at the dirt beneath your feet. The Iklwa is a short weapon because it's meant for the immediate present. If you win the battle for this hour, the sky takes care of itself. Quote 5. He who is afraid of the blade will never hold the hilt. Zulu warrior, saying fear is a biological signal, not a stop sign. Most people feel a flicker of anxiety and immediately retreat to the safety of the tall grass. But the Iklwa requires you to move into the fear. You cannot control the blade if you are terrified of the cut. To master your life, you must accept that skin will be broken and egos will be bruised. The hilt of power is only handed to those who have stopped flinching at the shine of the steel. Quote 6. A lion doesn't turn around when a small dog barks. African proverb. The small dogs are the notifications, the trolls, and the minor inconveniences of your day. They bark to get you to break your stride. Shaka Zulu's warriors moved in the buffalo horns formation, focused, silent, and inevitable. They didn't stop to argue with the wind. When you have a mission, the noise of the world becomes irrelevant. If you are still reacting to every bark, you haven't truly committed to the hunt. Quote 7. The Iklwa speaks only once. Traditional Zulu reference. This is the philosophy of the single strike. We live in an era of maybe and sort of. We try to wake up early. We hope to get fit. This is weak energy. When the Zulu warrior lunged with the Iklwa, there was no maybe. It was a total commitment of body and soul. Adopt this in your work. When you sit down to create, do it with such intensity that you only have to do it once. Stop trying and start executing. Quote 8. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. African proverb. Warrior interpretation. In the context of self-improvement, your together is the alignment of your mind, body, and spirit. Most people are going alone because their mind wants one thing while their body craves another. They are a house divided. The Zulu Empire was built on a singular unified will. You must forge a treaty with yourself. When your physical actions match your internal ought, you stop being a wanderer and start becoming an empire. Quote 9. The sun never sets without a fresh scar. Warrior maxim. A day without struggle is a day without growth. We have been conditioned to believe that a good day is a day where everything went smoothly. A warrior knows better. A good day is a day where you pushed against the resistance until it left a mark. Your scars are the ink art of your soul. They prove you were in the arena. If you aren't coming home with a fresh mental scar of discipline, you stayed in the village. Quote 10. An army of sheep led by a lion can defeat an army of lions led by a sheep. Attributed African proverb. Your habits are the army. Your will is the lion. You can have the best lions, talent, money, connections, but if your will is a sheep that follows every impulse, you will lose to a man with nothing but a disciplined routine. Shaka didn't have the best technology. He had the best discipline. Stop looking for better tools and start becoming a better leader of your own impulses. Quote 11. The spear that is not used becomes a walking stick. African proverb. Potential is the most expensive thing you can own because it costs you your future if you don't use it. Every talent you refuse to sharpen, every hour you waste on distraction, turns your spear into a walking stick. You become a tourist in your own life instead of a conqueror. The Iklwa must be kept sharp, and it must be used. Don't let your genius rust into a crutch for your excuses. Quote 12, "He who hunts two hares catches neither." Zulu proverb. Multitasking is the long spear of the weak. It feels productive, but it has no piercing power. You are throwing pebbles at 100 targets instead of driving a blade into one. The Zulu buffalo horns formation was about total enclosure of a single objective. Pick the one thing that will change your life and close the gap on it with everything you have. Forget the other hairs. They aren't your concern. Quote 13, "A warrior does not ask for a light load, but for a strong back." African warrior prayer. The digital age promises to make everything easy. Easy money, easy fitness, easy dopamine, but easy creates the internal rot. It makes you fragile. Instead of praying for your life to get easier, start training for it to be harder. Seek out the heavy loads of deep work and intense training. A strong back is the only thing that will carry you through the seasons of drought. Quote 14, "The elephant does not limp when walking on thorns." African proverb. You will be criticized. You will be tired. You will feel the thorns of life poking at your ego. The Iklwa mindset is the weight of the elephant. You are too heavy, too focused, and too purposeful to let minor pain slow your stride. When you have a close the gap mentality, the small stings of life are just background noise. Keep walking. The thorns are only a problem for those who tread lightly. Quote 15, "Silence is the sound of a closing trap." Zulu tactical wisdom. Amateurs talk about their goals. Warriors execute them in silence. The Zulu warriors were famous for their ability to move thousands of men in total silence until the moment of the strike. If you are constantly posting about your grind or telling people what you plan to do, you are bleeding energy. You are warning the enemy. Shut your mouth and let the results be the onomatopoeia of your success. Quote 16, "The shadow of the spear is not the spear." African proverb. Social media is the shadow of the spear. It looks like the real thing, but it has no edge. You can spend all day looking at motivational quotes and warrior aesthetics, but you are just playing with shadows. The Iklwa is physical. It is real action. It is sweat, blood, and focus. Stop falling in love with the shadow and start picking up the steel. The shadow can't win the battle. Quote 17, "Even the king is a slave to his own discipline." Shaka Zulu. Power doesn't mean you get to do whatever you want. It means you have the power to do what you must. Shaka was the most powerful man in Africa, yet he slept on the ground and ate with his men. He knew that the moment he chose want over ought, the rot would begin. You are the king of your life, but if you don't serve your own discipline, you will lose your crown to the first distraction that comes along. Quote 18, "A wounded buffalo is more dangerous than a healthy one." African proverb. Failure shouldn't make you quit. It should make you dangerous. When you miss a goal or lose a duel with procrastination, Don't retreat. Use that pain as fuel. Channel the internal rot of your frustration into a desperate, focused energy. A man who has nothing left to lose and everything to prove is the most terrifying force on the battlefield. Turn your wounds into weapons. Quote 19. The distance is only a lie told by the fearful. Warrior wisdom. You think you are far from success? You think you need years of preparation, but the gap is usually just one bold decision away. It's the decision to stop thinking and start stabbing. The distance shrinks the moment you stop standing still. If you take one aggressive step forward every day, you realize the horizon was never as far as your fear told you it was. Quote 20. The Iklwa finds the heart because the hand does not tremble. Zulu Maxim. Precision is the result of a calm mind. If your hand is trembling with what-ifs and maybe I'm not good enoughs, you will miss the mark. Apatheia, the evenness of mind, is as much a Zulu trait as a Stoic one. You must be cold. You must be focused. When you finally reach the point of engagement, there is no room for emotion. There is only the objective and the strike. The Zulu army didn't conquer southern Africa by watching from the sidelines. And you won't conquer your life by just watching another video. You've spent the last few minutes sharpening your mind, but a sharp mind is useless if the hand is too afraid to strike. The internal rot of hesitation wants you to stay in the tall grass, planning and preparing, until your potential dries up and blows away. It's time to stop being a spectator of your own ambition. Go out today and find the one thing you've been avoiding, the long spear you've been throwing from a distance, and close the gap. Snap the shaft of your excuses and get within arm's reach of the struggle. Whether it's that business call, that extra set at the gym, or the difficult conversation you've been dodging, treat it like a Zulu warrior treats the battlefield. Don't look for the opening. Force it. Thank you for standing your ground here at Hypothetics. We don't just study history. We use it as a forge to sharpen the modern soul. If this message struck home, make sure you've joined the ranks so you don't miss the next deployment. The world belongs to those who are brave enough to get close. Stay disciplined, stay dangerous, and above all, close the gap.